Coming up this week on Trendz, we celebrate Christmas with the soulful sounds of Joyous Celebration. The city of Johannesburg is lit with colorful Christmas lights. And we get up close and personal with iconic designer David Tlale.
Everybody nyanyani, but by God's grace, we have managed to keep the momentum going by doing virtual shows. And now we just came back from a very fruitful show called the Restoration Show, which happened on the 18th of December at Carnival City. And now we continue to just keep the music going on our Joyous TV, which is an online platform for all the music we produce.
The music group is celebrating 25 years in the music industry and promises their fans a powerful offering.
To close off the festive, we have a very beautiful Super Sunday coming up, which was a series of shows that we did throughout the year. So every last Sunday of the month, we post a show on the Joyous TV. So now to close off, we are expecting another beautiful one for the month of December. I just want to tell our people that to urge everybody to keep the faith. It hasn't been an easy year for all of us, but if we just continue with grateful hearts and continue to know that the grace of God will sustain us throughout, because it did throughout this year. We have been restored, we have been delivered, we have been empowered by the grace of God. So let's just jump into 2022 with excitement and gratitude in our hearts.
2022, the group promises to bring more music and new talent.
God willing, we expect to be back on the big stages that we are used to, and we're praying for that to finally happen. However, we'll just continue to bring in fresh music to lift your spirits and to make sure that we stay relevant.
It's pantomime season at the Joburg Theatre, and this year's Cinderella is a spectacle of colorful costumes, music, dance, and South African comedy.
I am really excited that the theatres are slowly opening up again and we got to stage this panto. There were many doubts in the past about whether or not we were able to do it because of COVID, but for some weird reason we pulled this panto off this year, and we've got 1 week left and we've still been running. So we made it, yeah. It's good to be back on stage and good to have people back on stage and good to have artists working again, you know? It's been a great experience, yeah. So I am the choreographer of the panto. I've choreographed quite a few pantos till this point. Yeah, it's just great, you know. I love working with the artists and bringing different flavors of South African kind of jivey kind of stuff, matched with classical ballet, matched with contemporary. So when you come and watch a panto, you don't know what you're going to expect. Everything's completely different, catering for every different kinds of people, every kinds of walks of life, the young, the old, a minglemus basically, yeah. So usually we have classical sets and different set changes and classical costumes. This year we've decided to go an LED screen way. So the panto is the first digital panto actually in the world. With the LED screens, we're the first digital panto here, proudly South African, you know, with the likes of Andrew Tim that designed all the ADs and everything. So we can be proud of that as South Africans. because there's nowhere in the UK they've had a digital panto before.
The bar has been raised high. We look forward to next year's panto.
Cue bright colors, cue family vibes, cue love, cue affection, cue fun, and definitely cue the festive season. But don't forget to cue the Christmas lights. No, seriously, cue the Christmas lights. It's so beautiful here. Let's not forget my outfit as well. Let's cue that cute majaga jaga outfit that I'm wearing tonight. I'm at the Joburg Zoo. It is so beautiful. It feels like Christmas, but the difference is that it feels like I'm in a movie. Literally, guys, I am Cinderella tonight. Tonight, I keep pulling Cinderella.
Truly is the stuff that dreams are made of. Enchanting performances under the luminous lights that complete a perfect family portrait.
The intention has always been to celebrate festive in an outdoor setup. And now more so because of the COVID, everyone wants to be out, but everyone also wants to feel safe. And the external environment allows you to social distance, have fun, watch performances, as well as enjoy the lights in the city of gold. We've got so many entertaining things that one can do here. We've got life-size sculptures. They're not even life-size because they're bigger than life-size, of different animals that we have in the zoo. We've also got the tunnel, which you walked through, a long 30-meter tunnel where you can take as many pictures as possible. And you must just feel like you are a Cinderella, you know, walking into the ball or walking out of the ball. We've also got great entertainment on the bandstand, and this entertainment, by the way, it changes every week. So this week we've got Soulfire Town and the Nutcracker by Joburg Ballet, and then next week it's a different program. So if you want to come more than once to see the different programs, absolutely you have to.
So the best part about being here is that there's literally every single thing you can think of under the lights. Look, beautiful lights, family vibes, performances, Christmas music. What's missing? Food.
Yeah, just gonna put some on it. Oh. This is how it comes. Okay. No.
Oh, there we go, guys. So you see, it's steady, it doesn't move, it doesn't shake. So when you go over to check out all kinds of animals by the lights, you can be like, what a nice light.
Exactly.
What a beautiful light.
Okay.
The lights.
Buckle up as we head to the Elephant Coast.
Lions are often hard to spot when on a game drive. We've been on a few, but it's not often that you spot them. In Shushu, where we got up early and caught them as they were circling a buffalo. Their plan didn't work. The buffalo was too big for the lioness and her cubs. Then they went off and were a marvel to observe for tourists that started rushing from different sides of the game park after rangers told each other where the lions were. But we were the first to get there.
We did a game drive in the morning, and the first thing we encountered was a pride of lion. I mean, how amazing was that? So we saw Big Five right in a space of 10 minutes.
Up the road, we saw one of the usuals, a lone rhino. But the rain chased us away. In these northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal, we took the main highway on the east, the N2 up to Jozini from Hluhluwe.
A part of relaxation here in Jozini is to take a sunset boat cruise, and what befitting way of doing that than on a boat with a name that fits that description. It's called Shonalanga.
Imagine being on a boat while having a drink and snacks.
So we're on the boat manje, and I think ingane yomdawo yamanzi, so ngiyathanda amanzi ukuthi ngeke ngibe nje khona. So yeah, it's quite good.
We chose the short route, but if things were longer, we could have ended up in Pongola, where one could see wild animals while on water.
There's something called an ocean safari, but also here in the Jozini area, there's quite a lot of water activities. So there's boat cruises for 2 hours, and then there's another option of having a 4-hour, I would say, a dam safari, where you can actually hop out of the boats and go into the Pongola area and do your safari activities as well, and do into the game reserves of that area.
A holiday here is clearly to detox the first full year of COVID, which had many stresses of work and loss for some people. It's a perfect place for family. I had hoped for an outdoor massage while watching the nice scenery and a sunset. But because the weather did not like us today, things had to be indoors.
There is Manganani also around here in my property, which is it's a small space, but it can accommodate plus or minus hundreds. Yeah, they're doing a lot of treatments. The only treatment that they don't do is only the night treatments because of my clientele. My clientele, they only comes here for leisure. I don't accept any outsiders.
KwaZulu-Natal is receiving the most tourists in South Africa again. This is after the tourism slump that came with hard lockdowns.
This was such a beautiful surprise. I didn't know that there's part of KZN like this that exists. And it was amazing to get away from the beach and see other places that are as gorgeous as ever.
The hotels around this area, they actually cater for the kids as well. As a dad, I see myself coming back here to spend time with my family.
Definitely, it's a family destination, and also with friends, you know, because my experience is my link.
While many who visit KwaZulu-Natal go to Durban, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go north from Durban as well.
Come to the north side. Like Durban, we can always do it. It's fine. It's like going to Polokwane, but until you go deeper into the place and see other beautiful things, like I did right now. I'm telling you, like, pack your bags, take your family, your kids, everyone, and just make sure that you come to the side of KwaZulu-Natal.
Fashion icon extraordinaire David Tlale is a brand like no other. He has received numerous awards internationally, and a David Tlale original stands out in any room. Rightfully so. During these last 18 months of the pandemic, the brand has managed to grow in leaps and bounds. I received a warm welcome being adorned in a fabulous garment. It's been a difficult time for most, so how have you managed to stay afloat?
The pandemic has just taught us quite a lot. First of all, it was a good time to reflect, to reset, and to regroup as a business. And I mean, as we have, you know, when we got into the first part of the pandemic, when we thought 21 days we'll be out of it, I don't know who were we fooling, we just like thought, okay, fine, this life will change. But it forced us as a business to change as the House of David Tlale. First of all, migrating from the virtual showcase that we did as the pandemic was hitting the world, and we just like, now we have this collection that we've showcased to the world. Who is going to buy it? Where are they going to wear these clothes and everything else? And I believe the Classica Icon collection was like one of my favorite collections that I did. And sadly, I couldn't even showcase it anywhere in the world. But here we are. Fast forward, we are back in the world. We are back in business. I think it was last year, July, when we were contemplating, you know, because now business was slowly going down. I mean, there were no sales. We're ending up making masks, trying to survive with masks, and it was not making financial sense. And we had to make a decision as a brand whether we are closing down or we are going to take a leap of faith. And that really took a major journey for us spiritually, and also just like literally trusting God to say, what are we going to do now? We're going to have to open stores. And where we are today is actually a testimony of saying this was our first flagship store that we actually opened during the pandemic. Opening up multiple stores for us is for accessibility. But the good part is we don't do mass production. Like, I mean, the jacket or the gilet that you're wearing, we only make 6 of them and we distribute them amongst the stores. When it's sold out, it's sold out. We still keep the product to be high-end and also limited editions. There's no way that we're gonna manufacture like 500 of those. When it's sold out, and we have to move on to the next level. My personal highlights, I always go back to in 1993. I'm old, by the way. In 1993, when I was sitting in that auditing class, and I was like, I'm out of this game of auditing. I'm going to be a fashion designer. Winning the Elle New Talent in 2003 was my first step into the fashion industry. When I won the Elle New Talent at South African Fashion Week, it was like, okay, now there's a brand called David Tlale. 2005, I got headhunted by House of Monatic, and I became creative director for Kaduchi Woman for a good, beautiful 2.5 years. That was a beautiful journey for me because it introduced me to production, planning, production and tailoring and all these skills. I learned quite a lot. It was like a beautiful journey for me. Started traveling the world. Shortly after that, I joined African Fashion International. I showcased for the first time solo collection, over 30 models just for David Tlale. It was like phenomenal for me. And shortly after that, became one of the 4 designers from African Fashion International to be selected to go showcase during Paris Fashion Week in 2007. 2009, I mean, how much time to have for this interview? Up and up, New York Fashion Week comes in. I think the biggest highlight for me was the showcase at Nelson Mandela Bridge in 2011, when we celebrated 92 years of Nelson Mandela, and we had 92 models on the runway. It was such a beautiful moment for me.
The Intern by David Tlale has been a major success, launching many aspiring designers into the fashion scene. These days, David is teaching the new interns the business side of fashion. Now, let's talk our fashion. What are the trends this season? This
summer, we are we're having a beautiful collaboration with an artist called Mandla. And the print that you are wearing, he actually designed with our in-house art director, Sir Abner. And the journey is like literally, first of all, celebrating iconic faces like Miriam Makeba, Winnie Mandela, Tsietsi, David Tlale. And so we just like fusing our journey on how far we've come as a brand and also as a nation, as a continent, but also fusing that into our prints and also coming up with beautiful, the Tlale monogram, where everybody is now brand conscious. People must see that I'm wearing David Tlale, so it's gotta have David Tlale outside. And but we're going very bright, lots of oranges, lots of white, a bit of tan, but lots of gold that brings luxury and royalty into, One thing that I've learned in the past few weeks when I was traveling, one iconic man from Rwanda, they used to ask him, where are you from? He wouldn't say, I'm from Rwanda. He says, I'm from Africa. I am an African. So that's a story that we are telling right now, to say beautiful products that are crafted and made in Africa, proudly made in Africa. And we want people to adorn and make themselves look beautiful. I mean, like you, hey, with products that are beautifully and proudly made in South Africa. So it's very important that we become very patriotic. So many beautiful things have happened in the business, and all I say is I give gratitude and thanks to God for orchestrating and directing my path. In 2 years' time, or in 18 months, the brand David Tlale will be 20 years old.
Onwards and upwards, we wish you nothing but the best. And that's how we wrap it up. Let's continue the conversations on our social media pages. It's @Trendz on SABC. See you next week and stay safe.